Hey YouTube, what's going on? My name's Gabe. Thank you guys for jumping into another video. Today's video is a part of my 2-hour free course on how to get started investing into multifamily apartments. If you want access to the entire thing, all you have to do is just click the link in the description, put your email in, and you'll get immediate access. And so with that being said, let's jump right in. All right, so before we jump into all of the details on how to find deals and how to underwrite deals, I want you to take a step back and really look at what's the potential of what's possible if you start investing into multifamily. And when I started to look at it from this perspective, this is why I believe that multifamily is single-handedly the best investment vehicle that you could ever invest in. And I'll show you why. So referring back to the wealth formula, let's assume that you guys have your vehicle. You're doing wholesale, you're doing flips, or you have a business, right? And you're able to store $100,000. That's why it's so important to have the vehicle, because once you earn the first 100, everything is going to change from there. Let's assume that you're doing wholesale and you've gotten your business to the point where you're storing $100,000 away. Now you're asking yourself, what can I start investing in that's gonna grow this $100,000 principal the fastest without taking the most amount of risk? And that's what multifamily is. And it's primarily because of what I call the multiplication effect. And so when you come to me and you say, Gabe, I have $100,000, I want to invest in your deal, what's that look like? And I tell you that you're gonna earn about 6% a year on cash flow on a $100,000 investment. That's $6,000 a year or $500 a month. Nobody in their right mind gets extremely excited hearing, oh, I just busted my ass for 5 years, stored $100,000 away, and all I'm gonna get is $500 a month. Well, let me show you why with the single $100,000 investment, why if you track it over a long period of time, it can and it will change your life. So the golden rule in multifamily real estate, specifically what's called value add multifamily, we'll go over the differences between the different strategies that you can utilize in multifamily, but this is traditionally where a lot of the institutions and the massive players of this game, this is typically where they play. It's called value add. And the golden rule of investing in real estate like this is you want to be able to double your money every 3 to 5 years. And in real estate, you need to understand that there's 2 types of returns, just like the stock market. In the stock market, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And then there's stocks where you can invest in and actually get dividends, right? So you invest in that stock, it pays you a certain dividend, and if it goes up in value, you get the best of both worlds. You get the dividend, and you get the upside or the appreciation. In multifamily, it's the exact same thing. You get cash flow and you get the upside or the appreciation aspect. And the appreciation is the multiplier, right? And so starting with a single $100,000 investment, let's assume that you're 30 years old, right? And you've got your first $100,000 that you can invest. You found your vehicle, you went out, you hustled, you traded your time for money, you got an extra 100 that's not going into growing your business, it's just sitting on the sideline, and you're looking to find a place for it to grow over the next 20 or 30 years. Quick reminder, if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And again, if you want complete access to the entire course, just click the link in the description and I'll see you inside. Now let's get back into it. Let's assume that we can double equity every 3 years over a 30-year period. And we'll go over the difference between 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, all the way to 10 years, right? Because this matters. And so if I can double my money every 3 years by investing into multifamily real estate, just watch what happens with a single $100,000 investment. 100 will turn into 200, 200 turns into 400, and so forth. If you're able to double your money every 3 years over a 30-year period, that's 10 doubles. But you're not doubling the 100 grand. Every time you hit a double, you're doubling your double. And so that's why you're able to compound and grow so much over the long period of time. If you look at the end result, 100 grand turns into $102 million. And so you look at the same cash flow. Remember, 6% on $100,000 was $6,000 a year. 6% return on $100 million invested is $6 million a year. In free cash flow that's likely to be non-tax, not to mention, we'll go over it, and you still have the principal or the asset producing cash for you. And so that's why I get so excited, because all it takes is 100,000. Maybe it's only 50,000. 50,000 turns into 50 million. Guys, like, this can change your life. If you do the difference on a 5-year and a 10-year period, this is why time, and it's not talked about often, this is why time is so important in real estate. and how often and how quick you're able to turn your money. Because on a 3-year period, in the same scenario, every 3 years, 100 grand turns into 100 million. Every 5 years, just a 2-year difference, every 5 years, 100 grand turns into 6.4 million. So not as much, but still insane growth. 100 grand doubled every 10 years turns into 800 grand over a 30-year period. In the difference between 3 years and 10 years, you're either at 100 million or 800 grand off of one single $100,000 investment. And guys, this is a lot of hypotheticals, this is a lot of assumptions, and that's the thing about real estate. You have to understand a lot of this is just made up. It's all assumptions based on data. I want you guys to see the possibility. And so keep this in mind as you're going through this course and just think about it. Like, really, where are you right now? Are you at zero? Do you have no money? Okay, how do you get money? Why are you so motivated to get money? Because now I have a goal in mind. By the time that I'm 60, I want to have $100 million of real estate paying me $6 million a year in cash flow. Today, all I got to do is go out and find my first 100. That's all it is. That's all this is. It's just math and reverse engineering into what you actually want to achieve. So if you want 10 grand a month in passive income, do the math on it. If you want 20 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand, it's the exact same thing because you're in the same vehicle, just different numbers. It's just ones and zeros. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the daily uploads. And again, if you guys want access to the entire 2-hour free course, make sure to click the link in the description and stay tuned for more videos just like this.